In this video, we take a look at the top 10 strategy games coming in 2020. Manor Lords. This game looks too good to be true. I'm glad this game is real. Manor Lords is a medieval strategy game about building cities, commanding armies, and spectacular real-time tactical combat. We built and developed our own medieval village, which over time became a city with complete freedom of settlement. Combat can have hundreds of people fighting at the same time. Large troop formation, morale, flanking, fatigue, weather and equipment all come into play. Manor Lords has no current release date. Victoria 3 is an upcoming grand strategy video game. Victoria 3 takes the player to the colonial era of the 19th century and allows players to control one of over 100 countries. The game focuses on politics and demographics, and the player is tasked with leading one of the many available nations to greatness. Whether agrarian or industrial, traditional or radical, peaceful or expansionist. There's no information yet on release date for the Victoria 3, which is expected to be released after 2023. Rest in peace to the Victoria 2 fans who didn't live to see the announcement trailer for Victoria 3. Man of War 2 is a real-time strategy game, apparently a sequel to Man of War. Man of War 2 has two story campaigns on the Western and Eastern fronts where you can play as an ally or as a Soviet. In terms of gameplay, Man of War 2 offering is slightly different from its predecessor, as the new frontier changes the dynamics of the strategy approach. This allows players to engage in wars of attrition, breach undefended lines to advance control map areas, dig trenches and support troops in newly won territory. You can play the game in single-player mode or in co-op mode with up to 5 players. Man of War 2 planned to be released in 2022. Frostpunk 2 is a real-time strategy game with city building and survival elements. Frostpunk 2 is set 30 years after the apocalyptic blizzard at the end of the original Frostpunk campaign. Once again, you play as a city leader trying to survive in a snow-covered world. You must ensure that your employees are united, motivated and prepared for the hard, inevitable sacrifices. The core of the gameplay remains the same. We expand the city and take care of the needs of the citizens. Since 11-bit Studio hasn't announced a release date, you might have to wait a long time to get your hands on Frostpunk 2. Homeworld 3 is a real-time strategy game set in outer space. Homeworld 3 returns on a much bigger scale. We control a fleet of starships. We lead them into battle against enemy forces, and players engage in epic battles in 3D terrains of open space and large space racks called megaliths. Much more often, we have to fight surrounded by giant megaliths, which are the remains of an ancient civilization. Players can challenge each other in intense one-on-one, free-to-play or team battles, or tag a team in roguelike style in an all-new co-op mode. We don't have an exact date yet. The game is scheduled to be released in Q4 2022. Songs of Conquest is a turn-based strategy adventure game that combines RPG, tactical combat and kingdom management. This game brings old-school power and magical vibes to a new era. Players must manage kingdoms and lead teams as they explore the game world and complete quests. Explore various maps with different enemies and valuable loot. Manage resources, research new developments and expand your kingdom. You can play single-player adventures or duel with friends online or locally. Songs of Conquest is expected to be in early access on May 10. Knight of Honor 2 Sovereign is an upcoming medieval real-time grand strategy game. Choose your kingdom, become king and manage provinces, assemble armies, engage in diplomacy and espionage. Raise your army to defend your country or take war to the enemy. Go head-to-head in action-packed RTS battles. The game allows you to play alone or in multiplayer. Knight of Honor 2 Sovereign was supposed to launch this year, but no release date has been set. Starship Troopers Terran Command is a real-time strategy game. In the game, we command small troops forged to fight against hordes of aliens. To overcome this imbalance, motorized infantry must develop effective tactics. Deploy your units in strategic locations to cover critical bottlenecks and gain superior firepower through tactical use of altitude classes. The game will not have detail based building. Defense scenarios where players protect static targets are confirmed as campaigns focus more on unit placement and use. Starship Troopers planned to be released in June 16. Dune Spice Wars is a real-time strategy game with 4X elements. We become the leader of one of the factions and take full control over this desert globe. You can choose your path between subterfuge, political influence, economic supremacy, or open warfare. Discover resources, villages, expand troops to control more and more areas. Dominate the economy by running out of resources through buildings and spice harvesters. Dune Spice Wars is expected to go into early access on April 26. The legendary strategy series is back. Company of Heroes 3 is the ultimate combination of action, tactics and strategy. Take command in intense real-time combat, then command the entire campaign as a general, where every decision counts. Company of Heroes 3 is set in the Mediterranean, and so far, North Africa and Italy have been confirmed as campaign locations. Turn-based campaign levels reminiscent of Total War or Iron Division 2. The RTS layer has also been improved. From all aspects of tactical combat, terrain advantages, flanking bonuses, etc. to vehicle damage models. Experienced units now have veteran status, which give them extra damage and additional abilities. In which games are you really interested? Please put your thoughts in the comments down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video, goodbye.